inside the News 13 studios for our 2025 High School Football Blitz preview show. I'm sports reporter Jevan McCoskey. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll take a look at the top teams and players in the area in our Carolina Trust segment, our main sponsor back for an exciting season of football. But first, let's take a look back at the 2024 season as we get to crown a pair of state champions. The South Florence Bruins were one of two teams in our coverage area to bring home a state championship trophy in 2024. They finished last season 12-3 overall, including a classic nail-biter thriller, any other adjective you can think of, championship game when they defeated the Westside Rams 42-41 in the 4A state championship game. Head coach Drew Marlowe knows that to be the last team standing, you need a skilled team, of course, but adds that his team last year had more than just skill, they had experience, and it's something they will lean on once again in 2025.
Yeah, I think that anytime you have a great year, one of the most important things in high school football is you get an extra 5 weeks of practice if you can make it all the way to the last game. And we've been fortunate enough to do that for 3 years. So, this senior class has already played in 45 football games and had somewhere around 60 practices. So, there's a lot of guys that play their entire college career, or high school career and only play 40 weeks. We're on 45 and got a whole other season in front of us. So I think the experiences that we've had, not just from last year, but for the past 3 years, will really serve us well this year.
Our other 2024 state champions were the PD Academy Golden Eagles. They defeated Bethesda Academy by a landslide, 52-14, to claim South Carolina Independent School Corporation 2A state title. Their domination in the state championship game was a reflection of their entire 2024 season. The Golden Eagles were led by Tristan Heckman on offense. More on him a bit later. Head coach Jonathan King understands the expectations heading into the 2025 season and also knows that his team will be circled on all of their opponents' schedules.
Well, that's part of it. If you win, people want to knock you off, and they should. That's the way it's supposed to be, which is why we have to work even harder to stay there. It's a summer progress that has to happen, the weight room and conditioning and getting ready with 7-on-7s and practicing to be prepared for what's going to come. Because, you're going to get everybody's best shot on Friday night, no matter who it is.
While some schools will be defending their state championships from 2024, others will be welcoming first-year coaches to their programs with hopes of lifting a state championship themselves at the end of the upcoming season. West Florence, Fairmont, and Wilson are just a few of those teams who will have new men in charge in 2025. Those three new head coaches spoke about what has stuck out most to them so far with their new programs and why they chose to be the head coach there.
Everybody in the community and some of the other coaches that are on staff that don't coach football have just kind of told me this summer, this is the most kids they've seen showing up for summer workouts at Fairmont in forever. They haven't had a winning season at Fairmont since I think 2017. It's changing the culture is probably the absolute biggest thing that we've had to deal with.
As far as size, athletic ability, humor, atmosphere, community, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, West Florence is great. It was going to take a really special place to get me to come this year, and West Florence is really kind of perfect. It checks all the boxes for what I was looking for at this point in my career. So really excited.
Each coach will get the opportunity to find the win column for the first time at their new schools during week 0 next Friday when the high school football season kicks off. Coming up on our 2025 Blitz High School Preview Show, we are going to take a look at the top 10 teams entering the 2025 season. It's all coming your way after this quick timeout. Welcome back to the 2025 Blitz Preview Show. Well, we are littered with great teams in our area year in and year out, and it won't be any different this fall. Let's take a look at some of the top 10 teams from across the region. All right, in Class 5A, the Carolina Forest Panthers under new head coach Mark Morris will be the favorites to win Region 6. They have an explosive offense with Jaron Fox and will look to build off a 2024 season that saw them finish 6-4-1. This is a team that scored 40-plus points 5 different times in 2024, so expect a lot of points in the upcoming season. As long as that Panthers defense can pick up a timely stop or two, this is going to be a team to look out for in the 5A class. The South Florence Bruins are entering 2025 as the defending 4A state champions, led by head coach Drew Marlowe and quarterback Messiah Jackson. This is going to be a team to follow throughout the entire season. Leaning on an explosive offense and an elite defense, they will look to go back-to-back and lift the second state championship trophy in as many years at the end of the season. Staying in Florence, South Carolina, but jumping from the south side to the west side as the West Florence Knights, led by first-year head coach Chad Wilkes, will look to claim the #1 spot in the city for the 2025 season. Good news is we don't have to wait long to see these two teams square off, as they're going to be battling in week 0 to find out who is taking the crown in the city. Excited to see what they will look like on both sides of the ball as the new year starts next week. Up next is another 4A school in Hartsville High School. The Red Foxes are the definition of consistency, and it all starts with the man with the headset, head coach Jeff Calabrese, who's entering his 21st season as the Hartsville head coach. The Red Foxes won 10 games in 2024, but if you ask them, it wasn't the year that they wanted, as they are looking to improve on a double-digit win season and make some noise in the playoffs. Coming off a season in 2024 that saw the Loris Lions win 11 football games, it's only right that they make our list for top 10 teams heading into the 2025 year. The Lions made it to the 3rd round of the playoffs last season and will look to prove that was no fluke and potentially lift a high school state championship trophy when the season comes to an end. Definitely a team to keep an eye on in the 3A class. The Dillon Wildcats make our list of top teams heading into the 2025 high school football season. Dillon will be led on offense by University of North Carolina commit wide receiver Zamarius Robertson and led on the sidelines by 14th-year head coach Kelvin Roller. The Wildcats will look to make some noise in the 3A class this season and potentially raise the state championship trophy when it's all said and done. All of the teams that make our top 10 list will, of course, have talent heading into the 2025 season, but if the Mullins Auctioneers were selling stock in their program, you better find yourself buying before the year begins. This is a team that could very well take over the 2A class and be the last team standing at the end of the season with a state championship trophy in their hands. Heading to the 1A class now with Lakeview High School, who year in and year out are one of the most consistent teams in our area. The Gators are led by head coach Daryl King and will look to improve off their 2024 season, where they finished 11-2, including a perfect 6-0 in region play. Hard to make any jumps when you win 11 games, but expect the Gators of Lakeview to continue their tradition of consistency in 2025. The 1A class is loaded in our area as we continue with the Lamar Silver Foxes, a team that will be competing for a region title year in and year out. Keep an eye out for the Silver Foxes to make some noise after 9 wins in 2024 and lost a heartbreaker in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Don't be surprised when they take the leap necessary to win the entire thing when this season is over. And rounding out our top 10 teams is the PD Academy Golden Eagles, who are coming into the 2025 season looking to defend their 2024 Skis a 2A state championship, led on the field by senior Swiss Army knife Tristan Heckman and on the sidelines by head coach Jonathan King. The Golden Eagles will be circled on opposing teams' calendars as they carry a target on their back throughout the upcoming season. That's going to do it for our top 10 teams, but coming up after the break, we're going to have another top 10 for you. How about top 10 players returning to the gridiron in 2025? It's all coming up after this quick timeout. Welcome back to the 2025 Blitz Preview Show. We have gone over the top teams entering the upcoming season, but what about the players from our Skiza and 1A football teams all the way to our 5A programs? There is so much talent that takes the field each and every week. Let's get into the top players returning to the high school football field this year. No better place to start than at Carvers Bay High School with South Carolina Gamecock commit Zion Giles. Giles is one of the top-ranked offensive linemen in the class of 2026 and will lead the way for skilled players on the Bears offense. If I was a running back, I'm running right behind him all the way to the end zone. Look for the Carvers Bay team to control the time of possession battle behind the future Gamecock. Up next is Waccamaw standout running back A.J. Great. During his junior season, Great tallied 66 carries, 551 rushing yards, and 7 touchdowns on the ground. He also added 5 catches for 159 yards and 3 scores. Great does it on the defensive side too, finishing his junior season with 133 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. Expect more video game numbers from the Warriors senior Swiss Army knife in 2025. 2025. Where better to go next than AJ Great's twin brother, Andre. Andre is entering his senior season and will be the man under center for the Waccamaw Warriors, a dual-threat quarterback who can attack defenses down the field with his arm and on the ground with his legs, and is one of the best athletes each and every time he steps on a field. Expect Andre Great to take another leap in ability in 2025. Moving to the wideout position now, into one of the best athletes in the area, Dillon Wildcats and University of North Carolina's commit Zamarius Robertson is a get-it-and-go kind of speed, elite hands, and exceptional route-running kind of athlete. In his junior season, the Wildcat wideout hauled in 68 catches for 948 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. Look for Robertson to crack the 1,000-yard mark during his senior season. Now to the defensive side of the ball with Andrew's standout edge rusher, Chris Stewart. Stewart is an athletic specimen at 6'2", 228, a near 35-inch vertical, and a 4.7 40-yard dash. He is not a player that you want chasing you around the gridiron. Certainly a player that we will have our eyes on and look to help Yellow Jackets to another successful year. Back to the quarterback position with one of the best arms in South Carolina. Loras High School's Zamir Moon Gerald looks to guide the Lions to a deep playoff run in 2025. During his junior season, Gerald threw for 1,859 yards, 20 passing touchdowns, and had a 62% completion percentage, and was named an all-state team member. Moon also added 2 scores on the ground with his legs. Now to one of the best running backs in our area, Carolina Forest Panthers standout Jaron Fox. During his senior season, Fox put up video game numbers from the backfield, 1,973 total yards and 23 touchdowns. Fox was also named the Conference Player of the Year and enters his senior season as the 5th-ranked running back in South Carolina. The Panthers will lean on their backfield in 2025, with Fox getting a majority of the carries. Staying in the backfield for our next player on the top 10, PD Academy's Tristan Heckman. While he had a successful season at running back in 2024, he's going to test the waters at quarterback in 2025. His skill as a runner will certainly make him a dual-threat quarterback for the Golden Eagles. Heckman will look to guide PD Academy to a second consecutive 2A state championship in 2025. Our last quarterback on the list comes from South Florence and the Bruins and Messiah Jackson. During his senior season, Jackson led his team to a 12-3 overall record, including a 4A state championship. He threw for 2,080 yards, 30 touchdowns, and added 11 more scores on the ground. Jackson was selected to the first-team All-Region squad and will look to rinse and repeat both his personal and team success during his senior season. Now rounding out our top 10 players heading into the 2025 season is West Florence linebacker Romello Patterson. Patterson is a 3-star linebacker and committed to play his college ball right down the road in Conway at Coastal Carolina for the Chanticleers. During his junior season, he totaled 9.5 sacks, 60 total tackles, including 16 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, and 1 defensive touchdown. Romello will patrol the defense for the Knights as they look to make noise in the 5A class. All right, those are our top 10 players. Plenty of other talent in the area, and we are looking forward to seeing all of them take the field when the season starts next week. But coming up, we sit down with a special guest from Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union. It's all coming up after this quick timeout. Hello and welcome back to our 2025 Blitz preview show. I am now joined by a very special guest, August from Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union. August, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We are very excited to partner again for another year of high school football. Just have a few questions to ask. Before we get into all that, just if you don't mind talking a little bit about your role with Carolina Trust.
Yeah, so at Carolina Trust, I'm the brand ambassador. I kind of serve as like a liaison between the credit union and the local community. We started as the Myrtle Beach Air Force Base Federal Credit Union in 1958, where we served the people that lived and worked on the Air Force Base and have since become a community charter credit union. So it's really important to us as being a credit union that we put people ahead of profits, and we are very service-minded. Yeah. And so you'll often see me out and about in the community serving and connecting with the members of our community so that they feel like they have someone who they can reach out to at the credit union anytime they have different financial needs.
Awesome, that is great. And as I did mention, we are just a few sleeps away from high school football officially being back. It's kind of crazy. It feels like we blinked through summer and all of a sudden football season's back. But when you hear football season's coming back, just what are some of the things that maybe you get most excited for, knowing that kids are getting ready to play on the Friday nights?
Yeah, it's super exciting for them. I look back to when I was in high school and think about, football season is really what kind of starts that excitement for the beginning of a new school year when things can be so difficult. So that's just, internally something that I think about is I know it gives all of the kids something to look forward forward to, but also these student athletes. It gives them so many different opportunities to learn life skills like leadership, teamwork, and how they carry themselves in the community. You know, they carry themselves and represent their school on the field, and those are things that they'll take far into their adult lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of leads into my next question. Just if you could give a piece of advice to one of those people who are seniors in their last year of football, their last year of high school, just maybe what would that piece of advice be?
Probably just to really be present in the moment. I know during your senior year, it can be really exciting to look forward to the future. You know, there's so much talk about college and things like that.
Right.
And I know they're very focused on the future, but being sure to stay in the moment, enjoy all of the last first, you know, the last first day of school,
right,
or the last first game, and, you know, really take that time to be present, spend that time with your classmates, and, you know, be sure to give those special moments to your parents and your loved ones.
Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me that whenever I was
sure.
in my senior high school. I played basketball in high school, and I wish somebody would have just said, slow down a little bit,
Yeah,
because
right.
it goes by really quick.
Absolutely.
But also, that leads me into my next question. Just maybe a piece of advice that you've received, maybe it is that just kind of slowed down from a mentor, from a coach in the past that's kind of stuck with you as you've gotten into this new
Yeah,
journey.
so I played a lot of different sports in high school, but I wasn't super athletic.
Okay.
All my friends played, and so for me it was just more of like a community bonding experience. But because I wasn't athletic, a lot of my coaches, you know, they would come to me and talk to me about the importance of being a leader even if you're not the best.
Yeah.
So if you're not the best on the field, you can always be a leader where you are. Be the best cheerleader, be the best supporter. And I think, you know, no matter whether you're a student athlete or you're just a normal high school student, being the very best where you are and knowing that you have the ability to lead in whatever position you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a phenomenal answer.
Well,
that's a
you.
really good answer. Coastal Carolina football is also right around the corner. Just maybe your excitement leading into their season when they take the field here in a little over a week on the road to Virginia.
Yeah, super, super excited. I'm a Coastal alum, and I love going to the games and getting to see the way Coastal's growing. I think it's so exciting this year that we're going to play some really big schools.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about going to Virginia and playing an ACC school. We're playing South Carolina toward the end of the season.
Yep.
So really getting to see Coastal showcase their football program amongst these other big programs and really show, you know, how under our excellent leadership by Coach Beck, all of the amazing things that we're doing with our program to uplift to be on the same level as those schools that we're going to be playing this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Chance Miller coming in as an athletic director is really taking the athletic programs to new heights, and I think that he has done an excellent job. August, again, thank you so much for joining us. We are really looking forward to this upcoming season and getting to partner with you guys once again. It's going to be great.
Yeah, awesome. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up in the 2025 Blitz preview, there's always been talent in our viewing area, and coming up after the break, hear from the best of the best that have come and gone and found their way back. It's all coming up after this quick timeout. Hello and welcome back to our final segment of the 2025 Blitz Preview Show. The start of a new season is one of the best feelings in the world. Everybody is 0-0, no wins, no losses. But for seniors, it can be a bittersweet feeling as they prepare for their first game for their schools. Working together for 4 years to build the most successful program and leave it better than you found it. I had a chance to catch up with a few players who are doing just that. Whether it's one more year to prove themselves or just to spend one more year with their football family, they're ready to get started.
I'm excited to get back to the competition and get back out there and see what everybody's been working on all summer. I'm excited to put the pads back on my brothers just one last time before I head off.
We're pumped. We're ready to go. We're ready to go right now. If we could play them tonight, we'd do it right now. It's just like there's that, like I said, there's that fire under us. We're ready to go do things that Walkmore hasn't never done before and just keep carrying that momentum from last season.
It's been a lot of fun this summer, and I think we're going to be a lot better than last season, and not only as a football team, but as a family. We love the game together, and we love playing with each other.
I'm pretty excited, you know. It's going to be a fun season, long season. Season get better. Everybody as a team get a lot of wins. I'm ready to put pads on right now. You know, every kid's dream, put pads on, playing on Friday Night Lights.
Well, there's no question that the PD and Grand Strand have always been loaded with the talented student athletes. One of, if not the most talented to come from the area, is former Lakeview High School standout Shaquille Leonard. Leonard went on to have major success in the NFL, where he was named a 4-time All-Pro and was selected to 3 Pro Bowls. After spending time with the Indianapolis Colts and Philadelphia Eagles, Leonard has found himself back where it all started, helping coach the next generation of players. I had a chance to catch up with the NFL linebacker and ask him what advice he gives to young players and what it means to play at the highest level coming out of Lakeview, South Carolina.
You know, play every play like it's your last play. I think a lot of times these kids take this game for granted or try to think that this game owes you something. You know, this game don't owe you anything. And, you know, just give us absolutely everything that you got on every single play, man, because this game that we play is a blessing and it can set you up, you know, and you and your family up for the rest of your lives. Being from a small town and then going to the NFL and, you know, being in a locker room full of guys that's, you know, from a bigger town, bigger cities and stuff like that, and being in the same locker room as Clayton Gathers, man, from Carver's Bay. You know, 218 guys from the same region. You know, it's big. Not too many people make it out small towns. And just for us to be able to do that, being in the same locker room, it's a blessing just to do that.
Well, we have heard from first-year head coaches and those who will come back to climb the mountain once again after winning another state championship. We've looked at the top teams and players taking the gridiron in 2025, heard from NFL stars who began their careers in our backyard. All that's left to do is take a look at some of the Week 0 matchups as the season is just around the corner. And if I've mapped everything out correctly, we have 25 matchups happening on Friday, August 22nd for Week 0 of the 2025 season. As we wrap up, we'll go over a few of those that I think stand out the most. Aiken and Aner will get us started. Then we'll see 3 of our top 10 players square off when Carvers Bay and Zion Giles take on Waccamaw and the Great Twins. The matchup of the week in my eyes is the Battle of Florence, when the Bruins and Knights go head-to-head. Talk about an awesome first week matchup, and rounding us out, Kanye will welcome Wilson as first-year head coach. Brian Wilson will look to pick up his first win as the man in charge. And that's going to do it for our 2025 Blitz High School Football preview. From each and every team to the players and coaches who make them up, we are all excited to bring you the best coverage of high school football throughout the 2025 season. Thank you so much for joining us. Hard to believe that football is just a few sleeps away. Remember, Friday, August 22nd is the start of it all for Week 0. Be sure to tune in so you can see all of the highlights right here on WBW News 13. Have a great night.